Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer, and we are returning to our Art of Battle Let's Play series in where we are playing the Burma campaign as the British. This is the scenario of the fall of Singapore. We've played a couple of turns already, and we are trying to hold back a Japanese advance. Over here on the Western Front, I think we're doing relatively fine for now, although they are strongly pushing in the north, and we have sent a couple of British units to shore up the Australian defenders over here. Over here, over Johor Bahru, we are doing a little bit so-so, but I think okay. And on the very eastern part of the map over here, we've sent a couple of units to blunt their advance, and I think that is going well. But the big issue is that enormous amount of Japanese units that are streaming down here towards the center. This Pale Labar is our defensive condition, and this here is the area that we would like to take, if at all possible. So we've moved around a little bit. There are still some stranglers around here that are pestering us a little bit, but I think we will be done. We will be able to deal with them with these engineers. I'm slightly concerned about this Japanese recon unit because we do have our artillery here and trucks, and they're not exactly capable of fighting off these guys. So we'll have to see what's going on over there, and again just how these units stream in. So let's end our turn and see what we can do after the Japanese are done with their stuff. So they are bombing us over there, which is not a surprise. They are trying to cross the river there, up there, attacking some Australian isolated unit, but that's not a big, that's alright. I mean, these units up there are basically only carriers. There are Japanese tanks moving down here, which is a bigger issue though. We do have a nice amount of aircraft, but all these Japanese units are a little bit of an issue. They're attacking our tanks up here, doing some damage and only receiving a little bit in return. Our engineers are being attacked. Hopefully we're doing a lot of damage in return. That's alright. Oh, you're cutting off our engineers. Well, that's interesting to see. Interesting, very interesting. These tanks are moving in, but these engineers are supported by this anti-tank unit, so that tank actually gets destroyed, which is very good for us. And we do get to the inevitable artillery barrage of all of these Japanese artillery pieces. They're also shooting at our aircraft there. But all in all, not a very big issue turn for us, I would say. We've got our artillery piece, and I'm mindful of just attacking this town up here because it's heavily fortified, as you can see there at the bottom of the page with the 10 over the little spade symbol. Although we do need to deal with these guys down here, and that is a big issue, so let's see what we can do there. Definitely do want to take care of these guys here as well. So what I'm going to do is move this unit here up because it's an anti-tank unit, the Oerlikon 20mm. That might be enough to deal with these relatively light Japanese tanks. Well, not quite, but at least we are pushing them back, so that's okay. Let's do keep on moving there. Then we've got you guys, and I think, well, we might want to move you up, but I'm more mindful of finally freeing up these guys down here, so let's actually destroy them there. We can follow up and move there. It's a rice field. Yeah, I don't really want to get you stuck down there, so let's actually move the engineers over here, destroy you over there, and that is nice. Finally finished off these guys, so that is good to see. That does not free up the heavy artillery. That does free up the heavy artillery here to commence its bombardment on these units. We could also attack there, but I think over here is just fine. Heavy artillery means these guys should be losing some of their entrenchment. And indeed they do, so that's nice to see. Let's deal with the stuff over here. So, you're actually doing fine. We've got the Gurkhas, we've got the engineers. The engineers are not doing so hot. So let's actually attack here with the Gurkhas. That should destroy them. No, it's merely pushing them back, but that's alright. So you've been pushed back. We could attack over here. We could of course flank them and try to attack over there. We could still advance with the engineers and attack them there. On the other hand, I would also like to just reinforce these guys. Let's wait a second. I want to see how much money we have at the end of the turn so that we can start dealing with this. Over here we are still not really doing any damage. We've got this light scout unit which doesn't seem to do much. We've also got our special boat service units up here. I thought you had a special ability, which is never visible here, which is, I honestly find annoying. Okay, right, let's move you up here so that we get a little bit better vision over things there. It's not much to see, but it's better to get you into place, obviously. We've got an artillery piece over here. You can't reach anything there. We could do some more counter-artillery fire, or we could attack these guys there in the river. These guys in the river, you are sort of vulnerable anyway, I find. So we might want to increase that, or just do counter-artillery. Let's attack over here. Should do much damage, but it will allow our infantry here to do even heavier damage, and I do think that is what we see. So that's nice. Ah, well, it's a 2. 2-0 though, so that's a fair trade from my perspective. I suppose you can move the infantry here, can move back up over here, so that's alright. We've got the AA piece. You could be moving up, but well, that might not be a horrible idea, since I do see some Japanese aircraft still around over there. So let's go to the air symbol over here. We've got a single Japanese bomber there. We've also got an AA piece down here, so you should try to move up. We've got a couple of Australian units here. We've got these British units here. And these British units here. So let's move up the British infantry. Let's start by attacking these tanks and follow them up. So we destroyed a couple of units there, so that's nice to see. And then the next thing is potentially... Oh, there is no... Oh no, of course no. Not now, there isn't a unit there. Let's move up the AA piece and attack that bomber. Doing some damage there, so that's nice. Good. So we've also got another bomber here, which I very much would like to position over these guys up here. Doesn't seem possible. We could have potentially attacked you. We've got 6 turns still, and I do want to start on reducing these fortifications, so yeah, I actually do think we need to move you up here. Well, I'd get you out of this theatre, but that's alright. So we've moved you, you're a little bit exposed, that guy has been beaten back. Let's move you up over here, attack these guys. And of course push up further. So we are alright over here, I think, all in all. We've got a couple of Australians sitting around all about. You could move up, but that wouldn't do us very much good, so I think you might actually be fine where you are. Okay, let's keep you where you are. You are doing okay, I suppose. Let's move you up here, at the off chance of taking artillery instead of our guys, at the British guys over here. Suppose we can reinforce you, but we are a little bit low on points, so I think I'd much rather you take these reinforcements, and that doesn't leave enough for you. Right, all in all okay. I'm gonna leave you where you are for now, because you need to rest up a little bit, and you are out of sight of any artillery, so that's nice to see. You can attack these gentlemen. They are in the river over there. And I suppose we want to finish them off if at all possible. Even if that does mean potentially being exposed over here. Well, which it does. Okay, so we're not going to move you out. You need to regain some efficiency anyway, so that's okay. And that basically settles this front, except for that fighter here. You could attack, but it just wouldn't do us very much good. Yeah, still, let's try to. Don't think we don't have the points to reinforce you anyway. Oh, and it is reducing their strength, so that's nice. Good. Right, so that does deal with this bit. This bit has been dealt with already. We don't really have that many troops here. We could move you up and attack these tanks. These Gurkhas are relatively decent at that, actually. Sort of thinking of moving this guy out. And we've got a lot of air pieces over here still. I don't think there are that many enemy aircraft that we know of at the moment. Some of them just might be We've got a Typhoon over here, which doubles as a ground attack aircraft, and we've got this Spitfire. This Spitfire here can reach over there. Wait a minute, you are a large bomber, so I think the Typhoon would actually be counting relatively well against these guys as well. Okay, let's move you over here. Start attacking this bomber. If we can bring it down, it will be doing us a lot of good over the long term, I think. Right, you can't reach over there? Oh, well, barely you can, so actually that's nice to see. So bring in another Spitfire here. We are seeing that they are losing less and less strength, at least theoretically, as we are attacking. You cannot get over there in your Hurricane though, because it's a little too slow. That's unfortunate, so that does mean I think I'm going to bring in the Typhoon. Yeah, let's bring in the Typhoon over here. And attack them. Like such. And I think they'll not be able to withdraw at all. Good. That does leave this Hurricane, which can't do much right now. There's an airfield down there. There's an airfield down here. Don't think I want to move you all the way down there. You could do some ground attacks, but I don't think they are going to do anything for us. Okay, so that's then... So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes. That might be enough to land next turn. And let's actually go over here. Okay, so we've got a decent overview of these guys now, and we've got another fighter piece up here, which I think we can move up to, let's say, this position. I think that's alright. Yeah, let's attack. I think that will allow us to just gain some experience. Good. Other active units, you're fine. You can sleep till next turn. You're fine as well. You're alright. You might want to move out. Yeah, let's move you back. Leave you where you are. Leave you where you are. Yeah, and then that is only the question on that side. Kotitaki, I'm slightly mindful of going into the open with these Gurkhas. And on the other hand, this recon unit, I don't think it's supposed to stay here. It's relatively weak against any, in particular, mechanized units, so... Yeah, again, I don't think that's where you want to be. So... I would rather have you move out here. I could actually have moved you down there to deal with this guy. Oh well, too bad. Right, so who else? Yeah, we've dealt with all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, support piece, you could attack there. And you could get a very bloody nose on this heavy infantry. These engineers could move up, but you know what, I think you're just better off reinforcing yourself. Yeah. That's good enough. We're a little bit open here. I think these guys might be coming down there relatively rapidly. And while you guys are okay with in dealing with enemy units, I think you might actually be better off over here. And you guys will be dealing with these. I think you will be fine doing that. So let's actually bring you up down here. And then we're going to reinforce there. Which is going to be alright. You've both moved, so I want to definitively use this piece, I think, behind you, so that you're supporting these guys in case there's any enemy tank showing up. And that should principally deal with all of our units, so it's nice to see that our turns here are starting to look a little bit more rapid. Wait a minute, can you move anywhere? No. Well, alright then. Good, let's see what the Japanese are going to do with it. Withdrawing from over there. Sending their bombers over this area here. Interesting choice. Some movements up there, and some reinforcements. But we are holding that line up there, but they are starting to push down there. Including this here, which I don't know whether that's an anti-tank piece, anti-air piece, or something else entirely. Attacking the engineers. Doing more damage than I would like to see, but also receiving some in return. And our tank here is in trouble because it's being flanked. Ouch. And here's the Japanese bombardments. But I suppose that's to be expected. Right. You have not been entirely dug out there. Okay, you can... Let's have the Gurkhas move up here. And attack these guys because now they'll be flanked. -3, 2, -1, so sort of as expected. And I think the engineers are gonna try and do yet more damage here. They're also gonna receive a big debuff there for being so easy to take out. Let's move up the scout unit. We could move it up here. Yeah, let's move up here and attack these guys, hoping to destroy them entirely. Yes, very nice to see. Move you up further, that is okay, good. You're alright then, actually, over here, I find. Let's move up the anti-tank piece. We might actually want to recapture this airfield. That would not be bad for us, obviously. Let's try to take out these guys. Nice, finally. These engineers, we could chase after these snipers, though you might just want to rest up for a turn here. And we've got these heavy infantry unit, which we are going to definitively move up, so you can attack over here. Do we want to do that though? Or do we want to support you with anything? I think this here is the most important position. Where's our Typhoon? Our Typhoon is over here, you can't reach there anyway. Okay, so I think we're going to concentrate on the city itself. So the artillery piece is going to continue to try and deal not so much damage onto them themselves rather than the fortifications. You are also capable of reducing enemy fortification levels, so I think it's alright if we send you over here. Oh, strategic bombs have the ability to target enemy supply sources directly to decrease their sources of supply. Do we know just how much stuff they've got though? A lot, 160. Okay, I don't think that's viable at all. So let's try to deal damage against basically only the unit itself. And it's starting to look a little bit more viable there, so that's good to see. Yeah. But that does mean you're going to be on your own attacking here, but that's alright, you're doing enough damage as is. Well, not enough, but a very good amount of damage, I would say. Right, since you can't break out at all, let's actually try to attack these guys here. Nice. Good result there. And I think we are going to move you into the central position, just because I think you're tanks, and that's a little bit better suited to what you aren't and what you should be doing. Good, so that's alright there. We've also got the special boat service over here. We could attack there. You're actually not that great at dealing damage, I have to say. We could, on the other hand, try to bring you over here and start trying to do some damage against their rear positions. I think that's actually what would be fun to do with these guys. Shall we try to do that? Let's try it. For example, we've got this artillery piece over here. I think it might be fun to try and deal some damage over there. Let's ignore the air situation for... No, let's not ignore the air situation because there is an enemy air piece over here. So, what have we got? We've got a lot of Spitfires and so on. You could land, that wouldn't be the worst idea either. We've got an air piece over here. I think this is probably the best one for this job. Yeah, you've got a lot of fuel. Let's bring you over here. Let's start shooting at you. Hopefully bring you down. Yeah, there we go. That's lovely to see. Very good. Could have also moved the AA piece, I just realised. But you know what, that's okay. We've got this artillery piece. I suppose we are going to try to do damage against these guys here in the riverbed. Gonna move over here with you. Also got the Typhoon somewhere, right? You could do some damage over here. And you have a little bit of fuel left, so the only other pieces would be some of the artillery pieces. Not the worst idea either, though. Yeah, let's try to do that. And of course there's an AA piece. Kind of overlooked these guys. But they didn't do a lot of damage against us, so let's try to move out here. It's nice to do some damage against them. Good. Right, back to here though. So... moved someone over here. You've already attacked? No, you haven't. Okay, let's attack with you first. And apparently you're at least driving them back. Which is a pity because now you are stuck and you can't actually attack. Alright, that does happen though, so that's okay. Right, everything else there is fine, so I'm happy with that situation. Let's look over here. You guys are fine. Could try to follow them, but I don't think that's really what we want to do. I don't think they will be coming down there. Might want to keep a closer eye on this piece here, but they are right there. You're right here. All of these guys are basically fine. We could try to advance over there and do some damage against these guys, but I don't think that's really required. Yeah. So, what I am going to do is I'm probably going to pull back the heavy infantry here and try to bring it towards the other front, because I think this front here is somewhat stabilizing. And some of these Australians are starting to look a little bit better than they did just a couple of turns ago, so I think that's alright. Let's drive you here into the jungle where you can rest up a little bit. I suppose you, the buffalo here, can go ahead and land as well. You've been dealing a lot of damage, so that's also very nice to see. I don't have to overdo it. Let's move up the AA piece. Or do we just want to rest up? I think resting up for a turn might not be the worst idea either. And you know what? I think you can also withdraw. Then everyone else over here is fine. We've got this piece, which I think is alright. We might want to pull you in a little bit. I'm not sure whether that is getting us out of the range of any artillery piece. No. Well, not this one at least. Right, and then since we don't really have an air target right now, I think it's prudent to get these guys here back into this airfield, land over there, and just recharge a little bit your fuel tanks. That's, I think, a decent idea here. Have these guys rest up a bit, be in a good position in case they are coming back at us. Over here things are fine mostly. Don't think we need to move the support piece there. So that does pretty much only leave the situation with you guys down here. Don't think there's any point in chasing after you, and I think there is a point in resting you up because you're down to 5 efficiency, which is 50% efficiency, so that's pretty much alright then. You here. I've some concern with you because these tanks are not looking that great. This is a very, very nasty piece that they've got over there, and I don't think the Gurkhas are that well equipped to deal with this, so let's move you down there. You're all fine. Yeah, I think that leaves basically all of these units, and we can hit the continue turn button again. They are healing up there, they are just shifting troops around there. But I do think they have a very heavy second wave, and again, just the central position here is still extremely strong on their side. And they are starting to do a lot of damage against our main piece, the tank there. -1, that is a fair trade. From my perspective, yeah, and they are sending up the second wave. Well, well, well. Artillery pieces firing, yeah, to be expected. There are the snipers. Well, okay, fine though. Let's deal with you once and for all. Yeah, good to see. Then you'll need to rest up again, but that's gonna have to be the case. Next turn, you are fine over here. I'm wondering whether we should continue the bombardment of the city. You are fine over here, but I wonder... I think sending up the Gurkhas might be the slightly better idea. Yeah, let's... Well, the Gurkhas are also fine over here, so... Maybe the engineers? Yeah, let's send up the engineers. Let's attack over there. Recapture that airfield, basically, which is going to be nice. but not critical. Right, and then we can send you back over there, and the Gurkhas are going to try to reach into this position. Going to move the AT piece into the sort of middle there. That's going to be alright. Yeah, and then you... so what we could do is we've got this heavy infantry over here. Well... you want to pull back a little bit, maybe. But I don't want to move you. On the other hand, you can only reinforce by 2 anyway. Well, well, well. We'll have to consider this, I think, very closely. So let's make sure everything else has been dealt with until then. Use the fort here to do some damage there. That's okay. You are looking fine as is. Got the AA piece. That's alright. And we've also got this special boat service over here. Let's move you up here. Start doing some damage against this field artillery piece. That's pretty much alright. Good. You can and will attack there. And then you're going to come over here and defeat these guys once and for all. Good. Yeah, this artillery piece can actually rest up for a second here. Could have attacked first, of course, but I didn't. We've got another Spitfire. I don't see any enemy air, though. There's no enemy air whatsoever. So again, you can probably land. Well, you just started, I think. Oh dear, I think I forgot this guy last turn around. Well, that's alright, since there's no air now. Could also land over here, I suppose. No, let's get down here. Let's land. And you're right there. And that deals with that. This is all good still. Over here we've got the Typhoon. You've got a little bit of fuel left. We could do some damage against these guys. And that would reduce the blunt of their attack, I feel. Likewise over here. Although I think we are relatively well prepared to receive their attack. Let's attack the heavy infantry piece here though. Let's try to get an eye of what they have. A lot of tanks, a lot of artillery pieces. They're still strong over here. Potentially I shouldn't pull back the infantry. So let's only pull back the heavy infantry here and keep the British infantry around still. But I think other than that we are only going to reinforce some of these Australians. Let's reinforce you. Let's try to reinforce you. Yeah, that's looking good. Right, and you can receive elite reinforcements and that's going to be alright there. So yeah, that does again deal with all of this stuff. Let's keep you over here. We have an AA piece here, which we might as well move up a little bit. So that's also covering these guys, just in case they do show up. Right, and then this Spitfire over here. Could do, I mean we could do ground attacks, but just generally not that worthwhile. What is this? 37mm. I think you're an anti-tank piece. We could do some damage against you. You know what, that's fine then. Let's try to do that. Good. Some units there. Good. Right, up here we dealt with all of that, so that does leave the question of down here. So we've got a couple of tanks here. And I kind of wish I could move up here. You know what? We're gonna move you down here. Pull back these guys. You're now in the open, but I think that's gonna be alright. We've got this gentleman over here, but we're simply gonna reinforce you. We're gonna push the heavy infantry to the side over there. And then we're gonna move the anti-tank unit into the middle so that it's supporting especially these guys here on the flanks, which I think is going to be alright. And then you could do some shock damage against, well, I think these guys are right, not the priority. I think this tank here might be a little bit more the issue. The Blenheim does have some fuel left. Let's do more damage against this tank. Yeah, and that's fine. Good. Anyone else? You're fine, you're fine. You're good. You are alright where you are. I suppose could move you up a little bit potentially, but so we don't see any enemy. Right, we've got the Buffalo, which is extremely low on strength. These Gurkhas you could attack, and you wouldn't actually be that bad at attacking this guy. And he's doing a lot of shock damage, so he's capable of reducing your stuff very heavily, but I'm not sure whether he's doing that defensively as well. Don't think so. So yeah, that's actually nice to see. Again, you're fine, you're fine. Yeah. Buffalo. Heavy infantry, you could attack. Not the best attack, not the worst attack either. Yeah, let's try to do some damage. There, I think we need to start reducing them very rapidly. We've got our Spitfires over here, so let's launch you into this direction here. And I think this Spitfire here could fix you up. But right now I think we are relatively fine in the air, so let's try to save our points for other stuff, and that's fine. Okay, so with that being done, I think this is a very good place to put in a cut and see what we're going to be able to achieve next time around. If we can capture that, that would be brilliant. That is one of our most important priorities. There's no difference here. Yeah, and we have basically thrown them back over here, so now we are capable of shifting some forces up here. We've also dealt with everything down here, so finally these engineers are going to be coming into play over there as well, and that's going to be nice, I think, as well, because you will be able to deal with these fortifications as well. And we've got some Gurkhas as well trying to flank them there. They've still such an amazing amount of forces over there that we do need to deal with. But we do have some heavy infantry coming into here as well, and potentially into their flanks. But yeah, this is just so bad. But only so much that we can do about that with the amount of points that we've got right now. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Do hope to see you around next time. Do leave a like and all of that, and bye bye.